my blood pressure coming in the front door was 168/98 at my first visit. I was floored. I never had it be that high before, not in any of my inductions. I never seen it that high. So I thought I'd take a minute to make a video. My mom is in the house watching my toddlers, and my baby is taking a nap. So I had my first appointment. First, I just went to a normal doctor, and I have a little clip of that. I was super excited, and just got confirmation that, you know, yes, I was pregnant. Basically, they do the same kind of tests you do at home, so it's kind of funny. But I did that, and they told me then that my blood pressure was a little bit up, and I didn't think much about it because it wasn't super high. It was like 135 over maybe like 80 something. And for me, I just thought, well, I must be excited today, and that's probably why. So this is kind of hard to explain without going back to my last two pregnancies, but to put it in a nutshell, with my second daughter, I developed pre-eclampsia or pre-eclampsia. I'm not really clear on what the doctor said. It was a very blur time, and I was 41 weeks. I was overdue, and so that's kind of why he thought maybe I got it. He induced me, and that's a whole nother story. And everything turned out okay. I had to have the magnesium drip while I was being induced, and it was kind of scary, but I thought, well, it was because I went overdue. With my third was an early loss, so my fourth pregnancy, I developed high blood pressure around 20 weeks, and they gave me some medicine. I think it's called labetalol, I think that's how you pronounce it, and it helped get me to where I could have him, and I didn't develop preeclampsia. So this time around, I had gone to the doctor. This is kind of a whole nother story too, but kind of deciding some things about my health, and my blood pressure had come down after I had my son. And because I was 7 months postpartum, if you've seen any of my other videos, when I got pregnant. So after I had him, I'd gone to the doctor just for me to do some stuff, and my blood pressure had come back down to normal. So when I went for this visit to get confirmation, my blood pressure was a little high, and I just thought, like I said, that it was just because I was nervous. Well, I went to my OB appointment. It was like 2 weeks later, maybe not even that much, and I was 8 weeks, and my blood pressure coming in the front door was 168/98 at my first visit. I was floored. I never had it be that high before, not in any of my inductions. I never seen it that high. Maybe one time it spiked while I was in labor, but not normally. So I was very, very, very overwhelmed. I couldn't see like how it could be anything good, and I took a break from making videos. I was very, very just discouraged, and they put me on labetalol, and it's evened out. It's not great, but it's good for me, they say. So at my last appointment, it was 147/80, so that's a lot better than 168/98, and I'm on labetalol twice a day now. So that's kind of where we're at. So just hoping and being prayerful that I can make it to a healthy place for this baby's sake. I was so overwhelmed in the beginning hearing that news, but yeah, I asked the doctor, like, what's one positive thing that, you know, you can tell me, or that you can tell me right now, something like that. And he said, well, you're gonna have a healthy baby. So he's got a plan that he thinks is gonna work, and of course I'm trusting the Lord. And so yeah, every little bit further I just try to take it one step at a time. And so on to some more positive news. I got an ultrasound at my 8-week appointment, and the baby was in there and healthy and just chilling. And I was like, okay, this is not affecting the baby right now. I was having horrendous blood pressure, and the baby was just chilling and happy, and I was thankful, of course, for that. It was kind of funny. It's like, okay, it's just having its best life, and I'm like over here like so worried, but I was really grateful that it was okay. And then my next appointment, when I was like close to 12 weeks, I went in and he couldn't find the heartbeat with a little Doppler, so I got some more pictures. And the first pictures, I'll have to insert a picture of the first. And and you can't really see too much of like the baby, like the baby's, you know, face, because I think it was turned away, but maybe you can see that. So it was a strong heartbeat, implanted good, and all the positive things. So I was thankful for that. And when I went away from the appointment where my blood pressure was really high, I was just really discouraged. I thought, well, no one else in the world, which I knew wasn't true, but I just felt like everyone else gets to have these, you know, healthy deliveries and wonderful births, and here I am having to deal with this, and I don't understand it. And I just kind of had to have a reality check. One of my friends has been going through something with her baby, actually having an issue with the baby, and another one of my friends had another issue with her pregnancy, something totally different. And it just woke me up to like, yes, people do go through things, and just try to be grateful for what is going good, and knowing that, you know, the Lord's going to be with me, and just trying to take it one step at a time. So since then, I've been a little more calm about it, and it took me about a week to get over it, like get over the shock of it. But some things I'm trying to do, I'm trying to walk more, which it's weird with blood pressure in pregnancy. So I think before 20 weeks, they call it chronic hypertension in pregnancy, and then after 20 weeks, it's gestational hypertension, and both are not good according to the nurse. I asked her what the difference was, if one was better. So basically, they don't call it like pre-eclampsia. Well, pre-eclampsia has more than just high blood pressure to it, but basically in the beginning half, it's just your body having high blood pressure, but in the second half, it has more to do with your pregnancy. And if you have it past 20 weeks, you're more put on like bed rest type deal. But before that, I think you can exercise more. And so right now they said I can exercise if I want to, and that should help. But having high blood pressure this early on is a risk factor for developing preeclampsia later in pregnancy. So it's definitely concerning, but I'm just trying not to let it overwhelm me. So what I'm doing is walking, like I said, and I was trying to cut out like salty things, and it was kind of hard, but I need to do it for the baby. So big things to cut out are like potato chips. They're extremely salty. Canned soups, extremely salty. And processed foods, anything that's easy to make. And like staying away from soda pop and stuff, all the unhealthy things. So it's not always easy to do, and I definitely have made mistakes. I have had some Dr. Pepper, which in normal pregnancy you can have some caffeine, but I'm trying, and so that's kind of where I'm at. I don't know what the future holds. My doctor said around 20 weeks maybe I'll have to have my blood pressure medicine upped, so that's really fun. I'll likely have to be induced. My doctor won't let me go past 29 weeks, and it could be sooner than that. I mean, I'm hoping to have a full-term baby, so I definitely need prayers. And if you have something going on with you, pregnancy or otherwise, feel free to leave it below in the comments, because I think it's really encouraging to hear other people's stories and to hear what they're going through and how they're overcoming and their positive mindset. There's a few other videos I made in my first trimester talking about some of my symptoms and things, and I might post some of that. One of the things I had pretty bad was nausea. I found out with breastfeeding, it actually can make your nausea worse if you're pregnant and breastfeeding. So I had really, really bad nausea, and yeah, that was not fun trying to deal with toddlers, because I mean, you just kind of want to rest when you're nauseous. I suppose for those that, you know, work, it would be kind of hard as well, very hard as well, but I'm a stay-at-home mom, so my job is to take care of the kiddos. And so taking care of the kids, it was very hard to just get up and run around and not want to throw up, and I did several times. But I felt pretty awful with that, tired of course, and just really trying to make sure I didn't do too much for my blood pressure's sake to where I was going to get, you know, feeling worse. And another thing that's been kind of hard is my hormones have made me feel really strange this time around. I have been nursing or pregnant or both for 4 years straight, actually more than 4 years. So my hormones are a little crazy. So just feeling like irritable. Like any like little thing can make me just feel so irritable that normally wouldn't. And that's something I need to work on personally, because that can't be taken out on other people, even though sometimes you and your husband is like, oh, you know how husbands are. I mean, they're great, but sometimes like he'll be joking around or teasing around and I just won't want to laugh, or he'll want to talk about something and I'm just in a grumpy mood, and I'll try to explain to him, you know, I'm just grumpy. And I feel bad about that. Or my kids, you know, they'll want to play, they'll want to be loud, or they'll want to crawl all over me and I just don't want to be touched, and I'll just have to explain to them, you know, mommy doesn't feel very good, you know, why don't you do this? Or have them go outside with my husband when he's home, just different things. And it's definitely something that has to be worked on, and I don't want my grumpiness to affect my family, but at the same time, pregnancy hormones are not a joke. Like, they're so hard to deal with sometimes, and so that's kind of some of the things I've been dealing with in the first trimester. So yes, some of the things I went through in first trimester, of course, nausea and being tired and just trying to be healthy, which of course does not always work, at least for me. Trying to walk and trying to eat healthy is definitely a work in progress, if I'm honest. And then my blood pressure, trying to keep it down, also a work in progress. My extreme irritability, which my family, bless them for dealing with me. So that was just some first trimester stuff that I went through. Hope you enjoyed the recap, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you are having a good day. Bye.